I'd like to introduce you to Miss Candy Garrett. She is the queen of social media. She lives in Missouri, and she also helps states get markets their state for them, and she has a complete lineup of everything she does. We're very pleased to have you tonight, Candy, and I'm going to turn this over to you at this point.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys for taking the time out to come to this. It is so exciting to me. I enjoy doing this. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I do have a slideshow. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but we'll figure it out. So you guys might just have to see my notes, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with sharing my notes. That's the point. So I am gonna screen share. Maybe. Okay. So, hi, I'm Candy. I am ABOC certified since 2007. I have not been working in a practice since, let's see, I moved last year. I worked part-time, meaning 2 days a week for a year and a half. Before that, I was a stay-at-home for a couple of years before that. So it's been a while since I've been in the optical front of the house situation. While I was a stay-at-home mom, I was part of an indie group for authors self-publishing and reading a lot of books and making some posts for their Facebook pages and getting these authors well known. So I taught myself how to make graphics for novels, to do my own happy birthday posts, to do my own little silly fun things on Facebook that you can do just to make my life as a stay-at-home mom a little more interesting on the internet. I mean, that's kind of where it all started. I became a member of the Michigan Association in 2017, just as a standard board member. I was the executive secretary nominated last year. I still continue to do that this year. I also am the chair for the social media committee, the newsletter committee for the Association of Michigan. I am the Vision of Hope website chair, currently the designer and update person for the Vision of Hope. And I just recently started working with a gal in Florida. She is opening an office very soon. We have an August open date, I believe. I'm working on her social media and her website currently. That's a little bit about me. I don't do this alone. You have to have a team, in my humble opinion. This isn't the Candy Show. It is you and your association. What do you guys stand for? What are you looking to do? Who are you trying to reach? Who's your audience? To me, that is my biggest key, that is the most fun part of the job, is having the team to collaborate with. So I do have a team of 4 for the social media committee, that is not including myself. So there are 5 of us total. For the newsletter committee, there are 3 of us, myself and 2 others. On the web design committee for the Vision of Hope, there are 4 plus myself. And we also get together once a month with other committee members that are part of the Vision of Hope Foundation, and we collaborate and do the website at a monthly meeting to make sure that the website is relevant and up to date monthly with their changes, because I'm not on all of those committees. So I have them come to me, we give a report, we send an update, and all is good in the internet world as far as that goes. With your committee, I really think talking about it, writing it down, getting together with your team, think about what you want to portray as far as your association goes. What do you want to tell the world and who are you going to tell it to? Those are kind of the big key components, because if you're looking to get other opticians, you need to market yourself for other opticians. The general population isn't going to know what you're talking about if you're using terminology that they don't know. So you really kind of have to know who you're talking to. Make a list of all the things that you can think of that you want people to know about you and why you want them to know that. Write it down, cross it out, highlight it, make a list, compare notes, think about it. Come back in like a week or 2 weeks, see if any of that stuff has generated any more thought processes or how you can make it better. If you think it's great, if your whole team thinks it's great, then run with it. Don't think too hard. Don't like sit on it too long, because then the relevancy kind of goes away. I'm a big paper planner. This is my actual happy planner that I use. And the theme that month was 80s, I think, with the roller skates and I think 90s maybe. Anyway, I write it down. I have to make notes. If it's not in my planner, it's not happening. Tonight's meeting was definitely in my planner, and I wanted to make sure that it was happening. I do suggest putting it somewhere, whether it is a shared document that everybody can see and write on and make notes and comment and make sure that their ideas are being heard and seen is very important. Everybody wants to be part of the team. Everybody wants to think that their ideas are the greatest ones. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they aren't. But if you don't have a voice for your association on the inside, you're not going to have a voice for your association on the outside. Am I going too fast? I feel like I'm really going quickly.
You're good.
Okay. So once you have some ideas, oh, I skipped one. You need to know what your goals are going to be. Who are you going to talk to? Do you want to grow your brand? Because as a business, as an association, which you should be running like a business, you have to have a brand. You have to have a logo. You have to have colors. You have to have all the things that you would have if you were a full business, especially if you're a 501. I think those are businesses. Even if it's a nonprofit, it's still considered a business on the books, right? Even if you don't pay anybody to be there, it's still a business on the books. So you have to have a brand. Do you want customers to come to you and search for you? Do you want to be that resource? If you're having a convention, how are you going to get it out there? Who are you going to target to get it there? And who are you going to use? You know, how are you going to use the tools that you have to get there? And then do you want, and these, I have all of these, I got these ideas. I do a lot of research constantly on a site called HubSpot. It's very good for marketing and social media. They have a lot of free workshops and a lot of free YouTube videos. But if you want to improve your customer retention, we all work in a customer-based content reality. So getting people to talk to you, getting people like me, I'm inside the association. I started how I started with Michigan. I showed up to a convention and I went there. The next year, I showed up 3 hours early and helped them stuff envelopes. That's how I got on the board of the OAM, is because I put myself on it. I mean, you have to know how to get those kind of people that are driven and want to be there and are ready to learn and are excited about their profession and are on fire for what you're doing. Those are going to be how you prove that customer retention, is with the testimonials and the people that are going to share the stuff out of anything that you put on the internet. They're going to love everything that you do about it. So the strategy is, if you want to grow your brand, you need to have awareness. That means you need to get more followers and more shares on your pages. And that goes with engagement. You need to get more comments, likes, and mentions and shares on your pages. It all goes hand in hand, and you can't have one without the other. So you have to know what your goals are when it comes to social media and what you're sharing and what you're putting out there. When I first started doing Michigan's social media, I was totally 100% doing donut day. And I was doing beach day. And I was doing hot dog day. because we weren't doing anything as an association. Now we are getting ready to put our convention dates up for next year. When I started, we didn't have them out until March and our convention was in April. I mean, it was a hustle. So we're doing things a little bit differently inside of the association because of the social media, because of marketing, because of who we're trying to target and where our audience is. Planning ahead is a very, very great idea. Even if it's years ahead, you know, you've got these dates coming. It's not a bad idea to say, hey, you know what, put a pin in your calendar. This is the date that we have picked for this. This is the only information we have right now, but just put a pin in that and we'll come back to it. That's proactive, and that gets people looking for, hey, did they post anything about that? Hey, I heard about this. Did you hear about that? Have you seen anything? That kind of gets that fear of missing out and the attention that they're going to not see that update. So then they're going to want to follow you. They're going to want to star you. They're going to want to make sure that you're top on their list of updates that they get every day. So then we get into choosing where do we post and why do we post there? I currently right now with Michigan Post on Instagram and Facebook. We do have a YouTube channel. We don't use it very often. Vision of Hope has a Facebook page and a YouTube channel. OAA, I think, has a Facebook page, an Instagram, and a YouTube channel. You don't have to use them all, but you do have to go where your audience is. So if you know all of your members are using Instagram, then maybe that's where you want to go to reach your members. So you kind of have to go where they're at. You also can use them for different things. So this example on here is they're using Twitter for customer support to keep their email and call volumes down. That's great for Twitter because it's a very short content. You can't post a lot on there or a huge amount on Twitter. And it's very, personally, I think Twitter's very political. I know a lot of my friends are on there and they have a lot of political things to say. So this other company said that they were going to use LinkedIn for promoting and sharing their company culture. So if you're trying to get employees, if you're trying to get volunteers, if you're trying to get people on your board, maybe you want to use LinkedIn for that. And these are just suggestions. You don't have to use LinkedIn for that. This one says that they will use Instagram to highlight their new products and repost quality content from other people that are reposting quality content. So they're just kind of recycling somebody else's posts. It could be their own. If somebody, how many of us have, I'm going to say, gone out to dinner? People are posting their food now all the time, or you're out at a venue and you're taking your whole family. My family and I just took the kids for one of their birthdays to the Titanic in Branson, the museum, and we posted family photos and we tagged Titanic Branson, so they can repost that because you're telling good stories about, you know, your experience there. Those are good things to share on Instagram. Whatever you do, you want to make it worth it. If you can't create a solid mission statement for a particular social media strategy, then maybe it isn't worth it. If you don't know why you're there, don't post there. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You know, I mean, while larger businesses can tackle most every platform because they have a team to do that, do what is right for you and your association, and pick the platforms that the people who you choose that are working on it are comfortable working on it. You can't force people to do it, or it's never going to get done and you're wasting your time and everybody else's. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Then it comes to creating content. I create most of my content from scratch. I might have an idea, or people screen share stuff to me. Hey, what about this? Or hey, what about that? You have to be super, super careful you're not copywriting or going against licensing images. If you want to get a license for an image, that's great and fine and dandy. There are a lot of platforms out there who don't require it. Make sure you're not stealing somebody else's work. They have started coming after people, especially now with the AI generated content, and things aren't looking pretty out there. I can guarantee that. Play around with your text. We are in the optical business. We know what it means when we hand these reading cards and people are like, oh, I can't read that. You put your new glasses on, you can read all the way to the bottom. Well, on your screen, on your cell phone device or on your tablet or whatever, make sure that everywhere they can see it, they can read it. There's nothing worse than having great content and not being able to figure out what the heck it's supposed to tell you. So play around with different kinds of fonts and make sure that you put your links on everything. I can't tell you how many times, and even now, that I don't put my website links or a convention link or any social media accounts or anything cross post on it. It's easy to forget to do. You just say what you got to say and go. But make sure you're putting your hashtags on there. Make sure you're putting your, how do they reach you? How do they even get a hold of you? If you have a website, how do they know that if you don't put it on there? So make sure that any of your contact information in the smallest forms you can get it, that you put it on there. And you don't have to litter all of your content with all of your links. If you want them to go to your convention site, just put the convention one on there. You don't necessarily have to put all of your whole life's history of connections on there. That's totally fine. I do all of my creating in Canva. I pay for the $12.99 version because I use it for multiple purposes and I use it for personal purposes. So I don't make anybody pay for it but myself. You do get a discount for a 501(c)(3). Is that what that's called? I don't remember those numbers. There is a nonprofit
501(c)(3).
C3. I'm like, I think it's backwards.
C3, that's okay.
So this whole presentation was made there, and Canva does have a nonprofit section where you get a deal on the $12.99 a month. I pay it again because I use it for multiple purposes. I also have a video program called Filmora Wondershare, and I put all of my videos together there. I could have made this a video in that program. I just chose not to.
What program do you use for videos?
It's called Filmora Wondershare. And I use the free video or the free version. I don't pay for upgrades on that. There's a lot to it. I just wanted something I could make some quick little YouTube clips and some GIFs and all that kind of stuff. So you don't need all the extra stuff. But they have paid and free versions. I just use the free version. No matter where you make your content, where you post your content, use the calendar that they provide. Canva also offers a calendar to pre-post all of your stuff, depending on how much time you want to take and how many accounts you have and how you want to log in and that kind of stuff. I simply use whatever Facebook provides. They have the capability in there to pre-post, I think, 6 months in advance. So if you don't want to forget something, definitely pre-post it. You can go in there and change it. You can go in there and move it around. You can duplicate it. There's all kinds of things that you can do in that Facebook backside planner. You can also connect your Instagram and Facebook as long as you have business pages. All of mine, and I'll show you, I'll go through all of this too and kind of give you what it looks like if you don't have a backside of the Facebook. It's kind of interesting. But there are also paid sites that you can use for this too. I would have to do some research to see what there was a couple of them that I just saw. One influencer that I follow on YouTube was just talking about one. I got to find it. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. It is called Metrocool, METRICOOL. I haven't done a lot of research on it because I just found out about it on Tuesday. And I think they have a free 30-day trial or something, or 14-day trial. But I like using the free stuff that's already provided by Facebook. I don't have to have all of these logins and all of this extra stuff to figure out. They also have a section where it tells you the best time to post on Facebook, and it's separate. Facebook and Instagram are separate when planning your post. It's kind of nice. And then don't forget to engage with your audience. If you're getting likes or shares or mentions or anything like that, go in and say, hey, thanks, or follow them back, or go laugh at their stuff. I mean, you have to, it's a social, you have to be social. If you want people to keep coming back, you want them to know that you're there, that you're not just pre-planning all of this stuff and just posting so people will see it. You want to be there for a reason. And it doesn't have to necessarily be the same person who's posting the content. You could have one person or two people posting the content and two people doing the comments and the likes and the following people around. I'm totally okay with that. However that works for you, just let the people that are there know that you're there also, that they're not there alone. There's nothing worse than posting something on a website and then having nobody talk to you for months and months, and 3 months later, they're like, oh, hey, thanks for the comment. I mean, I've had that happen to me. Then you want to make sure if you're staying on track. Are you following your mission? Are you doing what you say you're going to do? If you're not getting followers and gaining engagement, then just switch something around. There's always room for improvement. And if you're not meeting your goals, then we need to set new goals and take a look and see why. So depending on what your traffic, or depending on your goals and driving traffic and sales and retaining customers, and set benchmarks for what success looks like. So if you want to get 15 more likes and follows, then post things that people are going to think are funny, or engage on, or want to share with their friends. And then you can pull monthly reports. These are real live Michigan updates from May. Yeah, May. So my Facebook visits were down 75%. However, in April, we had a convention. So my Facebook visits were pretty high in April because that's when we were doing a lot of engaging and, and sharing posts and being at convention and showing everything that we were doing while we were at the hotel. My reach is still 898. To me, that's a lot. 898 people, that's a lot of eyes. My new likes on Facebook is 8. For a month that we're not doing anything, I've not posted as often as I was in March and April. I think 8 is a pretty good number, even though I'm down 27%. So to me, this is a success for the month after convention. I'm still getting my reach, I'm still getting some visits, and I'm still getting some likes. That's the goal. Make sure you're checking your progress. I have to pull reports for my committees once a month. And if you need any help with any of this, I would be gladly able to hop on a call and
how do you
go
get
through
the
this.
reports? Where do you go get the reports, Candy?
I will show that to you because it's on the backside of the
Okay.
business page. So if you don't have a
Okay,
business
thank you.
page, then you're not going to be able to see it.
Okay.
And the biggest question is, where are you now and where do you want to be? So if you want to, these are current also, these are my May goals for Instagram and for Facebook. You can set goals in there. You don't have to. I put that I wanted to reach 100 more people and I got to 127. Now Facebook didn't do so good. I wanted to reach, I don't remember what it said. I don't know what my goal was here, but I didn't quite make it. So then it tells you, you can reach more people with an ad. I don't use paid ads. Everything I do is free because that's what I get paid is nothing. So I'm not putting money into something that I can't get that return on investment. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I like organic. I like that people don't have to pay for me to see their ad. I like that it just automatically populates. The more people that like it and share and comment it, the more people that are in their network are going to see the same thing. So be authentic, be yourself, portray who you want to be inside of your association. Are we ready to move on to email?
Absolutely.
So I am going to stop sharing for just a moment. And get into the email portion of this. Man, my computer is really having a hard struggle. Okay. This is a new website I just found from that same social media marketer girl called Flowdesk, Flodesk. I signed up for the free version because I wanted to see what it was all about. I tried to get in my MailChimp, but I got a new phone number and they want to send me a text to the old phone number, and I have to figure out how to get back into my MailChimp account. The downfall to the MailChimp account is it is free for 500 subscribers. So if you have more than 500 people that go to your events and attend your things, you're not going to be able to reach all of them. This one has unlimited.
How would you
Go ahead.
compare? How would you compare that to Constant Contact?
I personally haven't used Constant Contact myself. I know the OAA uses it. I know Donna uses it. I know Sue from Michigan has several other people that she knows that have used it. I personally have not. So I really don't have a good comparison as far as the back end of it goes. I think on the email side of things, when I'm in my inbox, most of the emails to me look the same depending on who creates it. So I don't really go looking for who they used and how they used it. I just want ease of use. I know Constant Contact has a pretty easy ease of use. I mean, there are several people that are, and I'm going to throw Donna under the bus real quick because she tells me all the time, I'm not good at this stuff, but she sends a monthly email.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she does it by herself with Constant Contact. And I think she does a great job. I mean, so for somebody that comes to me and says, I'm not creative and I can't do this, I think she does pretty darn good.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I concur with that. Now, what about Flowdesk? What is that?
So it is an email provider, among other things. So what I mean by that is these are all, so what is your email goal? And I haven't set any of this up. I have 0 things in here. I just started it on Tuesday. So I've got nothing in here. So you can do emails, you can make forms, you can make a workflow, and there are videos that tell what workflows are as far as like automations and that kind of stuff. You can do checkouts. So if you have something like, if you're selling tickets to your convention, or if you have a fundraiser or something like that, they can check out. This, I think, is your subscribers, your customers. So if somebody purchases something, depending on who you want to send it to, you segment that out. So it's kind of like this person said they want only emails about convention. This person says they want only emails about our board meetings. You can break that out. And then of course, every email website or email provider has a analytics saying how many opens and how many people came to your website, what they clicked on and that kind of stuff. I'm going to see if I can open this other one.
This is like MailChimp then. And
very similar to MailChimp. Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted
to know.
I think
they all are. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Is that not Zapier? That's not what I wanted. Michigan was using Zoho. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who's behind it. I just know they logged me in and I started using it right from day one. And it was pretty easy. I don't know if it was going in there. No. But it's kind of, it's not very user friendly. 2892. 2892, but I can show you what my analytics are. 691. And I'm pretty proud of them. Even with MailChimp, I had an open rate for my Michigan newsletter at 31%, which is very similar to the OAA. And of course, I'm in forms instead of in my where I wanted to be. See if it will let me in. Nope. Maybe I won't, because it's not going to let me into where I want to be, I don't think. Well, this forms, it'll show my reports. I don't have any reports. Because I don't have any forms, because I did this NCLE review and nobody ever filled it out.
Oh,
But
was that
it's very, oh, go ahead.
Was that a survey?
It was, well, it was a questionnaire, like, would you rather? Do we want to do NCLE 1, 2, 3, or not at all? Because we kept hearing over and over, Michigan doesn't have any NCLEs. Michigan doesn't have any NCLEs. Well, I wanted to see how many people in Michigan wanted us to have NCLEs at our convention. We had 2 NCLE courses. They were all NCLE ABO 3, and they were packed. And I don't know if that was because the speaker was Mike Zick. If you don't know Mike Zick, he is a very, very eloquent speaker. He knows everything there is to know about contact lenses. And he does a very great job.
Somebody you want at every convention. You want him at every convention.
So I
if you want people to show up, you want him at your conventions.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was because it was Mike or if it's because it was NCLE 3 or ABO 3, because I know those are courses that not every convention can get is at a level 3 that count for anything that you attend. But again, you need to know what are you sending an email for? Is it to say hello? Is it to say, hey, we have a new newsletter? Because you absolutely can. If you don't have a list, you can just send one to yourself, share the link on Facebook. They can subscribe and start getting all of your newsletters from there. And then that's how you kind of start your email list. You have to start somewhere, and it's usually from the bottom. And these are, let's just play with this because I don't know, mobile and desktop friendly. You can change the colors. I'm sure they have pictures in here. Most providers have some kind of agreement with some kind of photo company that give you free content. So if you want to put your own picture in here, let's see. Yeah, Unsplash. Add a photo from Unsplash. All of these are free. If they're not free, they'll tell you before you put it on here. And you don't have to format or anything. It just goes there and there you go. And you can design your text and change your colors and all of that. And these are probably links. Yeah, you have to put a link in here so the button will go where it's supposed to go. Put your Instagram link in there so it posts all of your Instagram stuff. Add your Facebook or your logo, and off you go. And now this isn't going to let me because I don't have an audience and I haven't filled in all the things. But it's kind of easy and it's kind of fun to play around with. And you can always when you get to know what you're doing, there's A and B testing. So you can send one to your friends and one to your coworkers and see who hits the most and how many clicks and links and, all that kind of stuff. I don't think a newsletter is mandatory, especially if you don't have anything to say. If you get a list of 300 people and you don't have anything to say to them, don't send them an email. As far as this is a different kind of way to send an email. This is the website builder that I was using, that I started using when I was a blogger doing, this is my book blog that I was reviewing and putting those graphics that I just learned how to make. And then I made a site for Michigan's convention. I put their agenda on it. This one is simply the vendor partners. It is live now. Any vendor that comes to this page can sign up to be a vendor partner, and it will tell them what our tiers are, what it includes, how to get a hold of us.
Now, this is your website?
This is one of the ones that I use. This is a free version. The one that is loading, I paid $0 for. And this connect your domain, it stays up here all the time. When you go, and I'll show you the preview of what it looks like when you're not in edit mode, because this is edit mode. But I have my diamond partner at the top, what it includes and what it costs. Then my platinum, and I picked all of these images from a free website or on this website. And if you just click the keyword optical or contacts or glasses or something, it usually generates a pretty good list. Silver partner for 500, bronze partner for 250, and then other opportunities as far as swag, advertisement, and that kind of stuff. How do you register? Get your registration form here. First name, last name, email, who do you work for, your phone number, and have you attended anything like this with us before? So that gets sent to me, and then I personally have to go in here and send them the welcome letter, the registration form, and get their contact information as far as who gets to decide whether they can come or not. This goes directly to me. And then they can subscribe to any of our newsletters here or any other marketing that we've got. So you get to see all of my little cheat stuff, and that's fine. That's what I'm here for. I use Bitly to shorten my links and to post them on some social media stuff. So what that's going to do, become a partner. I put it in here, and if you type OAM partner in your browser, it's going to bring up this. This is the front of that. So exhibitor information. I have this little box here that was up there too. And this is the front side of it. So you always have this. This was designed by Wix, unless you pay for it to go away. That doesn't bother me up there, and I'm okay that they know that I use Wix for that. This Let's Chat. Oh, go ahead.
Just a quick question on your different breakouts on partnerships. How many people settle for the least amount as opposed to the top and the mid?
Well, this year was a little bit different for us. I'll be completely honest with you. I had 3 diamond partners at that 3,500. I had 1 platinum partner. I had 3 silvers, I believe. No, 3, maybe 1 bronze, and all of we had 24 booths of frame vendors and lab vendors and reps. And I think I want to say 12 of them were silver partners. No, that's not right. Bronze. Most of them were at the 250. Most of the frame vendors and the lab partners were 250.
who was the, that did the top one? You don't
Here,
have to
let
give
me show
the-
you.
You don't have to give me the name, but just what kind of category do they work?
Labs. I had
I
OGI.
will say lab partners are the ones that usually take that diamond. Always, in every time I've ever done it and had them in Washington, it was always the labs that had the deepest pockets.
Yeah, so we had Cherry Optical of Wisconsin. We had Wallman Optical. And we had OGI were our 3 diamond sponsors.
Wow.
And
This is an opportunity you want to take advantage of in every state society, because this is where you make your money.
Yeah.
and we just upped ours. So we weren't up that high 2 years ago. Last year, we decided we were going to take that leap, and we're like, you know what? We were aiming for the stars, and we're like, why not? Why not 3,500? And somebody's like, are you kidding me? And I said, well, if you don't ask, the answer's no.
Right.
We put it
Right.
out there and we got one. It was one. So they were the sole sponsor of lunch. So everything that we did during lunch was sponsored by Cherry Optical, period. End of story.
Hmm.
So then,
I'm doing one in Missouri or in Illinois this next month, and I have a diamond partner of $3,500.
Wow.
So this is very valuable for every state association. Start
And
thinking big.
and you don't have to go this high. I think we were at 2,500 was our highest. But
Mhm.
you have to know how to market yourself. What are you going to give them back? What are you going to do for them while you're at convention? But what are you going to do for them for the whole 12 months leading up to the next one? How are you going to get them back again? You know?
Well,
So
the other thing too is how many people come to the convention. That's the thing that they're looking at.
correct. So last year we had 125. I was aiming for 175. However, I kind of went the opposite direction this year, and we only ended up with 95 to 100.
Okay, and then of those numbers, how many were optical owners and how many were worker bees?
I'm going to say 90% of them were the worker bees.
Oh, wow.
And they know that. I mean, they know when they come to our educational, they know who they're seeing. We did do a couple of things differently this year. So we offered them, I got to move you out of the way. Their booth for no charge and lunch. I have them 1 year on my website, 1 year in my newsletter, and 1 year in an e-blast. What that means to you is how you work it out from them. I have a scrolling banner at the bottom of the OAM website that they're on there all the time, all year, every day. Every newsletter that I put in, depending on, well, this one is 1 year. So all of my diamond sponsors are on that banner all day, every year. I send any kind of newsletter. In my e-blast, if they want to provide me with material that they want in an e-blast, by golly, you better know I'm putting it in there and I'm sending it out to my list.
Wow. Okay.
I've only
Yeah,
had to do that. I think I've had 2 times in the last 2 years that has been requested. So it's not like I'm adding a whole ton of work to myself, and they provide all the stuff. They're on my vendor partner list. We made a banner that says OAM vendor partners, and I laminate them and I stick them to this board with some sticky tape. They become an OAM member for the primary signing rep only. So whoever signs the form that they're going to be in attendance, they get a 1-year membership. And this year is the first time that we threw in that 5 to 10 minute speaking time during lunch. They had a 10-minute window. They either used it or they didn't. We had 2. Cherry did, Wallman didn't, but then I had 2 other ones that requested to speak. So we kind of swapped some stuff. So for my platinum members, I have them 9 months on the website and the newsletter and my e-blast. So every tier goes down 3 months, 6 months for the gold, 3 months for the silver. I really don't have to advertise that they were at my convention on the website, newsletter, or e-blast. I do because I think that's a kind thing to do, but it's not a requirement. That's not why they signed up.
Yeah. So just a quick question. Your owners in your membership, what's the membership fee for the owners and what's the membership fee for the employee worker bee?
Ours are all the same. To be an OAM member, we have it at 125.
I'm sorry,
125 is the membership to our board, our membership.
Okay.
And then we do charge admission for convention also.
And what does that go for generally?
This year we did 130.
Okay. And do you tier that at all? Like, early registration, late registration?
No, we haven't, because we still do it all by hand. I don't have systems in place that I could just put it all in and click a button and it automatically does it. So and usually I'm the default, if I'm not available to change those dates and times and prices, then everybody's going to get the same price no matter what. So we currently don't have that. I've thought about looking into doing that. But again, it depends on how much work you want your board to do and who's available to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
One thing I would encourage all states is and particularly these new states, is when you're setting up your social media and your marketing committee work hand in glove. It should be all the same and work together, because they both have value in what you're doing, and you send out and say the same message.
So the only thing that I can say with this, and maybe it's because this was attached to a different page, I don't have Michigan's logo on this page, not once.
I seen that, but I wasn't going to say anything.
But that's a good learning moment, like I branded this. However, it was with the convention agenda and all of that. So you knew you were in the Michigan page, but because I took that page down,
Right,
because it's no longer relevant, I didn't change all of that onto this page, and I left it live. So you have to pay attention to the little details. I have people on my team that are absolutely crazy about spelling and grammar. That's not what I look at, because real people have spelling and grammar issues. I'm okay with living the real life and putting stuff out there that's not 100% perfect, because nobody's perfect and nothing is perfect and mistakes happen, and I'm totally okay with that. However, it took me until now, 3 months after convention, to realize that this page doesn't have my logo on it. Team of people that looks for that stuff too. So not only did I miss it, but they did too. So it happens. And it is called, I do have it labeled Michigan Opticians on the header, or on the URL address. So you could easily figure it out. But yes, that is a mistake on my part, and I will get that taken care of soon. But in this Wix, you can send an email, you can add sections, you can delete sections. This is very similar to sending an email, only it's on a flat page. And you can add all kinds of things. There's music and codes. If you know how to code, have at it. I don't code. I have no idea how to code unless I steal it from somebody else. There's a blog, there's a store, you can book events, you can schedule appointments. There's this website, and most websites do a lot of things, and a lot of it isn't free. So just be careful what you're clicking and adding and making public. And this particular website doesn't have my payment information on here, because that's not a paid thing. So whenever they come here, when they saw our agenda for Michigan, they had to go to my website to check out, because I don't have my payment information on this. And this is my website. This is not really Michigan's owned. Michigan doesn't own this. I do. I just did it as a courtesy, and I was playing around and said, I want to try it and see how it worked.
So this is the Wix,
Yeah,
and it's the web page, but you don't have them pay through this here. You have them go to another page. Do you link it to
Correct.
that page?
I did. Yes.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if I can still see that page. No, wrong one. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I can. I think I deleted it all the way.
Okay. And in the Wix, there's no charge for this one?
Correct, unless you want the premium settings. So there are subscriptions and payment methods and that kind of stuff. And I didn't do any of that. I was certain. And on here, you can have as many as you want. The only thing is, when I switch to my own, because I have it, I labeled it Opticians Association. So when I go here, you kind of have to be careful what it says here. So you have to, like, if you're using your personal and your work and your association and all of that, it really depends on where you have it going and what you have your URL say. Because so when I preview this one, this one just says editor. It might update in just a second when it's, oh, because I have a window. And these are their plans. So oh, maybe I'm not even supposed to get the free one. Or maybe you automatically get the free one until you want 2 people on here. I mean,
yeah.
it's depends on, you know, what your budget is and what you can afford and that kind of stuff. I'm totally fine with using what you can until you can't.
Mhm.
That's, you know, same with MailChimp. I used MailChimp for Michigan for 6 or 8 months until they just upped the 500, or they had 2,000 subscribers to 500. And then that wouldn't work for me. So I had to do something else. Now for the Vision of Hope, this is the front of the page of the Vision of Hope. This is a paid site, just to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at, paid versus unpaid. This one's unpaid.
Oh,
And you get all the sponsor stuff on there. This one, the Vision of Hope, paid for. So you don't get anything about where this is coming from or who did this until you get to the very bottom of the page. And it gives you the, and I can't see it because I have stuff in there. No, it doesn't even have it down there, but sometimes at the bottom of the page, it'll say 2023 Squarespace, blah, 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 whatever. So this is the home page. And then, of course, I don't know if you know what the Vision of Hope is or been there, but I built this website. They have emissions, and all of these have their own committees. Sponsorship has its own committee. Scholarship has its own committee. And then anything that they've been in a publication is on here with some graphics and that kind of stuff. So you can do a lot of things. This website, you can also send emails from. We haven't tried that. I don't know if we're going to try that. We don't currently send emails to my knowledge, so that hasn't been a feature that has been utilized.
So the
What I
donate,
see, yeah, go ahead.
the donate button there, does that take care of the payment in the website then?
It does. It takes you right where you want to go, and it will tell you you want to add help cover the fees because this is through PayPal. So there's fees for PayPal that you can pay or I can pay. And if you want to make it monthly, you can donate with or without PayPal or use your own thing. And when you go in there, it will give you a breakdown. What do you want it to go to? Because then this will automatically send you an invoice of where you sent your money. You can use it for tax purposes if that's what you're doing. This is automatically itemized because it's through the donate button in PayPal.
Okay, so they automatically send them a receipt for that,
Yes,
and they can use their credit card or their bank debit card.
correct.
They can, okay, can you have a form for them to fill out for the educational event?
Yes.
Okay, and then that,
Well, that's going to be a little bit different because with the Vision of Hope is a nonprofit, but right now the donate button
They
is
don't do
only
education for donations.
but the donate button
my
is only going to
webpage-
be for anything that you are like, it's not going to be for funding your convention.
okay, so
That's
if we-
not considered a donation. That's considered a buy-in.
correct. So you can't have a form there that you put on there to have them register for the convention.
Oh, you certainly can, as long as you're making sure that you're putting the correct information. So if we say, sign up here, we can have
Yeah.
it say whatever we want. Yes,
Okay, and then that then gets transferred to the office. When
correct.
okay, all right. And, okay,
And Doug, that's what my webpage does, because I do conventions on my webpage. And you have to fill out a form, you have to do everything, so. And
That's
then
OAA?
the money goes, that's mine, D&D Management Services.
oh, okay,
Go on and look at mine and you can see what I've done.
okay, cool.
And I didn't do hers. I can't find you, Donna.
D&D
D&D
management.
Management, WA. D&D Management, WA.com.
Oh, what is this?
I have no idea.
I don't either. You're not
If you
Googleable.
just put, I am too, go into www.dndmanagement. dndmanagement.com, wa.com. .com. There I am.
Okay,
So sponsors.
And if you go down, go to the bottom. Oh yeah, I take sponsorship. I do all kinds of stuff. And
Now
these
you
are my upcoming events that I'm working on.
okay. But you can't do your constant, I want to keep saying constant comment, but it's not the
Constant
T.
contact.
Yeah, constant contact. You can't do it through this page. You have to go to the constant contact.
I have to go to the constant contact, yes.
Okay, all right.
So when I was looking into constant contact, because I definitely got some prices and quotes because Michigan is working on a whole new situation. Our website situation is terrible. So I don't have an account with them, but they do email marketing. And I think they're working on, maybe I'm wrong. No, email and digital marketing. That's the only thing they do. So anytime
Right.
you want to send an email, you have to go into their server, which is fine. But a lot of them now are adding or doing both email and websites.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
I can do it in here. We just don't, because I don't have a reason to.
That's fine.
So then this is the backside. So when we have our meeting and we go in here, I can come in here to the homepage. Maybe my computer will cooperate. And I can edit. And when I edit here and I put a period here and I save it, and then I go back to my original website and I refresh it, it's right now. It's that fast.
Okay. Cool.
And it's in real time, as long as you save it. You have to make sure you save it. Don't do all that work and not save it. But it's very easy. All of my pages are listed here. So these are all of my tabs that I've got. Then down here, I have it broken out into scholarship. I have an application, letter of recommendation, requirements, recipients, who the recipients are. Then in scholarship, I have what we have to raise money. Modern Opticals links are on there because they're a big part of the Vision of Hope Foundation. Here we have a list of a whole bunch of things that we've done with missions and our donation box. So I will tell you, the donation button, you have to set that up in your PayPal, and then the button is on similar to here. When you have a button, reply to me and you put your link in. So the link that we have is the PayPal donation button.
Okay.
And so it automatically goes to where you want it to go to. So it's technically a third page, but because you don't have to get out of where you're at to go there, people don't notice it. And I'll be honest, I think Michigan had a really big struggle with that because you really couldn't, I mean, I had a buy now, but then you had to go in and fill out the classes that you wanted to take, the time you wanted to take it, and all of that, and then purchase. I mean, so it was a lot of extra steps just because we were cheap and didn't pay for anything.
Yeah. So you said the paid receipt is sent out automatically. Is that sent out automatically through PayPal or through a program? Because if they pay by credit card, do they still get their paid receipt?
Yes, because it is through PayPal. So anytime, it's just like now, anytime you go and make a purchase and you use your PayPal, PayPal automatically sends you a receipt. And I know when I do it, PayPal will send me a receipt, and then whoever I purchase from might comment or also send me a follow-up email and say, hey, I noticed you got this. Thank you for participating, or whatever it is, that I signed up for. So it just depends on, again, who you have on your team and what they're willing to do.
Yeah.
But
I guess my question is that only through PayPal, or is it if you use your credit card, do you still get and not through PayPal? So in other words, you have that option, PayPal or credit card.
The server is still PayPal. So the payment processor is still PayPal. Whether you decide to use your PayPal balance or your credit card, PayPal, whatever, it's automatically, that's who my payment is going to. So they're the ones who are going to contact you. Square's going to do the same thing. Cash App's going to do the same thing. Venmo's going to do the same thing. So it depends on where you're having your money whatever account you're having your money put in through, whatever server that is, that's who's going to be sending that email.
Okay, and it'll go directly to my bank. It doesn't have to sit in their account.
It will sit in that, yes. So no, you would have to go in there and transfer the funds to your bank account, or it will sit in PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or whatever you choose.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't really change because of your association.
Okay.
I know we're at that hour point. I think that's about all I have, unless anybody has any other questions.
I do.
I would
Go ahead.
So with the different websites, as far as that goes, for the free websites, have you had any experience with the Square?
Square, well, the Vision of Hope one that we just did was on Squarespace. I'll be 100% transparent with you. I am fighting with Square as far as the business page and my accounting for the second month in a row. So I am ready to cash out and close that account today. So I don't have anything nice to say about them. So that's where I'm going to stop. I've used them for 5 years and not had any trouble until recently. And I think with the experience that I've just gone through, I think their customer service is very poor. I think their protocols are very poor, and I think they are not very helpful when it comes down to being helpful. So they work when they want to work and they don't when they don't. And I haven't used them for a website. I haven't used them. I've just started recently getting more business and doing all of these things. And now all of a sudden things aren't going so great with them. So I am currently shopping for another form, another way to have payments for the business that I've been doing.
Have you had anything with Shopify?
I haven't used Shopify. I do know quite a few people who do. I was looking into, I've used HoneyBook and their free trial, and that one was really good. I like that because that also you can send contracts. And I've trialed quite a few of them. I just was having a little bit of trouble because I don't want to enter my bank information into all of them. And in order to get payment, you have to have somewhere for it to go. So,
I've got that situated. We've got a PayPal account now.
Well, and I haven't been, I wasn't very impressed with them either recently. But they are becoming more my top go-to for PayPal than any other one so far. There was another one that I used called, let me look for it. It wasn't HoneyBook, it was another one.
While you're looking at that, have you ever had to deal with Wix's customer service? Like, will they help you if you need it?
I haven't needed it, but I do, yes, you
That's
can
good
text
too.
them. But again, I haven't had to use that, so I don't have really any feedback on that. I've used so many different things. Bonsai, BONSAI is another one that I was using for my payments and my contracts for associations that I helped last year. And that one you can pay monthly. So if I don't have a contract to send that month, I don't pay it. And I think it was like 15 or 18 bucks a month or something. I mean, it wasn't hugely out of the park of not being able to pay for it if I didn't want to, but if I didn't have to, I didn't.
Right. With the free Wix website, have you had anybody having trouble like using the website? Indiana, I'm looking, that's part of my thing right now is I'm looking for a
Right.
website option. And all of the options I've looked at that were lower cost,
Mhm.
like I saw some really bad, scary things with the Shopify, a lot of money disappearing. And I'm like,
Oh,
no. Yeah. I saw several business owners full on rant because months of money poofed and no one would help them. So they immediately got taken out of the list. I would
yeah,
love to
see,
use a free option, but I really want our money.
yeah. And I think if you're going to connect your accounts to anything, absolutely get the paid versions. No matter what, I mean, make sure that you're covering yourself. Square is free. And I know it's really hard to say, you know, not all things for free are bad. But when I have $900 coming into my Square account every 3 months and I can't access it and I can't pay my bills and now I'm defaulting on all of this stuff, that becomes a personal problem. That's no longer business. So, I can tell you every time my account has been frozen, it's been a holiday weekend. They've not been available on Monday. They tell me it's 3 to 5 days. They don't contact me in 3 to 5 days. I have to call them. I don't get an email. I keep calling them. It was 3 weeks the last time that my account was on hold.
Well, that's a non-starter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Candy,
God.
do you use QuickBooks?
I
Yeah.
don't use QuickBooks. I have used QuickBooks. I'm not fluent in QuickBooks. And I think it's a lot of clicks to get to where you want to go
Yeah.
to get it set up.
I like QuickBooks. I honestly like it for what it's able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
me
also
too.
with QuickBooks, you are able to set a cost or like set up the portal thing, just like with PayPal or anything else.
Yeah.
And you can connect that link and pay directly through QuickBooks. And it's no
Well, and
extra
that's how
charge.
my payroll at my new job is like that. I get it through QuickBooks. I'm just not comfortable enough to say that I could use that, or, you know, I've not had any trouble in the programs where I have had to use it, but I've never had to set one up on my own. And I think that's where my gun shyness is, because I know it's quite a few steps to get it where you want it to be and how you want it to look. And I just don't know if I want to take the time to do it. But I might have to look into that, because I know PayPal's been around a long time. Again, when, you know, I'm trying to do the social media stuff, excuse me, and the cost of everything, and people are paying months and months in advance and they're sending large sums of money. Well, now I have a PayPal business account and they think I'm a creator and I'm sending stuff. So they don't send me the whole money until it's shipped and gotten to the recipient, which is fine. It's all great. But all of my stuff is digital. All of my stuff is hours on the backside of it. So to hold my money for 21 days so that the recipient receives their product gets a little bit old also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Candy, I'll chat with you after we get done about that. I just went through that with Nevada and I'll tell you how to get around it.
Well,
And
I did click a couple
like
buttons
PayPal
and
the
I
best.
changed it, but yeah, so far I haven't been super happy with trying to build my own business on my own with all these and I know they're not fly by nights, but that's how they're making me feel that it's a fly by night. So just watch yourself and cover yourself, because I've
Yeah.
been
Definitely.
at the stake for this company I've been at their throats for a long time, and I'm absolutely had it up to here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One other thing, have you heard of Pipeline Pro?
Pipeline Pro, I have not.
So because I've been Googling different things, I've been getting all the weird ads that
Yeah.
actually, of course, because it listens, I don't know.
Right.
It is a sales pipeline management and marketing platform. And they are having a special right now for a lifetime activation license of like 30 something bucks. And I didn't know if anybody had heard of it, because quite honestly, everything I'm reading online, it seems awesome. But
But
Yeah. Yeah, buyer beware.
exactly.
if it
Buyer
sounds too good to be
beware,
true, it probably is.
Exactly. But it's like normally it's like $500 and it's
Oh, yeah, I'd be real
It's on
careful.
sale
With
So
that
for
one.
I would
limited
say that's a
time.
fraud.
I don't know. It's,
I would like to recommend, Candy does set up really nice websites. That is part of what her business is. And if anybody needs some extra help on that, reach out to her and she can give you direction, or you can hire her to do it and get the job done and get it done correctly.
Good.
I like
If you're
teaching
not a
people how to
website
do what they
builder-
want to do. I like having a team. I like people saying, hey, how do you do this? Or like this conversation, have you had any experience with? I enjoy that. I like sharing my knowledge. That's why I am no longer on the front end of opticianry. I'm on the back end with convention and education and stuff, because I really think it's important to support the people that are out there fighting the fight and that want to be in front of the patients. And it ended up, I wasn't one of those people, but I didn't want to leave optics. So I found another way to not do it, so.
yeah. So
So-
I will definitely take you up on that because I'm about to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
And
It can cost you a lot of money, Wendy, and not have anything to show for it. So
That's
it's
it.
better, in my opinion, to let somebody that knows what they're doing do it for you and have it done. And at least you have a good product for what you're paying for.
So I wrote that pipeline stuff down. I'm gonna look into that because I think,
I sent you that
I
link,
know-
the link for the website too.
okay,
Should
because
be in
I
the
know
chat.
that there's
I
a
have
thing
Canva.
on
I love
Canva that's
Canva.
been posted around that says lifetime for such and such too. That is a scam. Canva has put any of their, if you go to YouTube and watch any of their designers' websites, that is absolutely not the truth. They don't have a lifetime for subscription, and don't fall for it. So I'm going to tell you right now, looking at what I just looked at just for that 10 seconds in pipeline, that is absolutely probably not the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Candy with a K,
Yeah.
what's your email?
Email social, SOCIAL, by Candy,
Social what?
by Candy,
EYE?
BY, no, just BY.
Oh, social by Candy.
at Gmail. I dubbed myself the social optician.
Okay, social by Candy with a K at gmail.com.
Yep.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you. And thank you, Donna. Donna gone?
You're welcome. And this is Candy's price list of what she does. I'm more than happy to share it with each and every one of you. If
Okay.
you're interested, just let me know and I'll make sure you have it. So
Okay.
there are options for you. And one of the most important thing you can do for yourself is marketing yourself on social media, getting your word out. Candy, thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you, everybody, for attending.
you.
I hope that you were able to take some tools and put them in your toolbox and help your state associations.
And if
Okay.
you want
Thank you
this
so much.
slideshow, there's a couple more slides on there, my contact information and that kind of stuff. So if you want it, let me know. I'll send it to Donna and she can get it sent out.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to send me any questions. Don't be intimidated by the price list. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help you. I want what you guys want. I want your association to be out there. I want your opticians to be educated. So
Okay, well, great. Thanks so much. Thanks, Donna.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody. All right,
Okay.
have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye now.